Hey everyone, this is Kristen with Hewitt Learning. I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about the Independent Innovator Challenge. So let's start out with who is an innovator? For our purposes, an innovator is someone who, prior to their college years, has an idea, who has developed an app, or who has created a prototype. For many reasons, sometimes people believe their ideas won't really amount to anything. Sometimes it's because they don't have access to the resources or skills they need to develop and then share those ideas. We want to challenge that thinking. So, in the context of the Independent Innovator Challenge, we are focusing on three specific areas: ideas, apps, and prototypes. Let's take a look at them one at a time. Let's look first at ideas. Ideas that change the world start as a simple scheme. It may be an idea that starts out on the back of a napkin before getting filled out into a full-fledged blueprint. It may be a plan that turns the business world upside down. Or it may be a simple way to make a routine task easier. There could be a drawing, a mock-up, or even a static model showing the parts, though it doesn't actually work. There could also be a functional project, an organization, or a process plan. Bottom line, the solution is conceptual. A second area that the Innovator Challenge focuses on is apps. These innovators create an application or software program strictly on the microcontroller, computer, tablet, phone, or some other electronic device. Coders really are the lifeblood of today's systems. Their ideas are turned into tangible lines of code on a screen that in turn solves real-world, tangible problems. Finally, prototypes. Prototypes have historically been the predominant way to introduce an invention. The innovator has created a tangible device or product that has been constructed and has some, if not all, of the functions and capabilities that it might need to be actually used in the real world. It might not be made of the correct materials, it may not be the actual size of the final product, and it may certainly not work as well as it should, but it does have the ability to perform at least some of the functions it's intended to. The Independent Innovator Challenge is one avenue to encourage innovation among students who have either come up with an idea, developed an app, or built a prototype to solve some need that they see in the world. So, how do you become an innovator? Every innovator begins with one thing: finding a problem or a need that intrigues you. What is it that captures your attention? What bugs you? Innovators are observers of life around them. Once you've identified a problem that you'd like to solve, then comes research. What's already known about the subject? Followed by brainstorming. List potential ways to solve your problem. Ask yourself, who else thinks this is a problem? What other solutions are out there? What solutions could you try? How can you break this problem down into manageable bites? Next comes the fun part: working on your solution. If you're developing a prototype, now is when you get your hands dirty and actually build something. If you're creating an app, then you learn the code required to put your idea into practice. If you have an idea, this is when you draw the blueprint, create the model, or flesh out your plan. But you can't stop there. Nothing is ever perfect the first time you try. You have to test and refine. Talk to other people to get their feedback on your idea. Find the bugs in your app's code. Work out the kinks in your prototype. Which brings you back to refining your original problem, researching your solution more thoroughly, and the cycle continues. Throughout this entire process, you will want to keep a logbook or a journal. This is a place to keep track of your brainstorms, your research, who has helped you in the process, and where you found your resources or learned the skills needed to develop your idea, app, or prototype. It's a record of the process so you can look back on the journey. Once you've created your solution, you will need to convince others that your solution is worth listening to, or possibly even investing in. A pitch video is a great way to do that. It only takes 2 to 3 minutes to explain why your solution is the best one out there. It's hard to condense your thoughts down in a way that engages your audience. So refining your pitch helps you summarize and engage people who may not have realized that your problem even existed. Creating a pitch video both fosters that refining process and also becomes part of your entry in the Independent Innovators Challenge. For the challenge, you will also need to be able to explain the process you went through in developing your idea, app, or prototype. With the potential of helpful feedback from people around the nation, or even around the world, we can't limit ourselves to a trifold presentation board. So creating a few slides for a presentation can help you learn how to communicate your process and bring others along on your journey. You will also need to decide what you want to do with your creation. The Independent Innovator Challenge is one way to help that process. As part of the challenge, each student will receive written feedback on their idea, app, or prototype, whether or not they advance to the next stage of the competition. Joining a challenge like this will also help you refine what you have as you interact with others in the real world. If you make it to the live event, you will get immediate feedback from a circle of your peers and learn to answer questions on the spot. Receiving feedback from others really is a valuable part of the innovation process. Challenges are also a way to celebrate all the hard work that goes into creating solutions. So, do you or someone you know have an idea you want to develop? Have you begun to think about or code an app or a program to address a need? Do you have or could you build a prototype of some invention or innovation you've been working on? If so, we invite you to enter the Independent Innovator Challenge. Let us help you develop your idea, app, or prototype and your mind for a lifetime of use.